Good morning to the Honorable Ministers of the Council, members of the media, radio listeners via St. Martin Gov Radio 107.9 FM, Tel TV Plus Channel 15, respective radio stations island-wide, and online viewers. I'm Rolika Roach, and welcome to the live Council of Ministers press briefing for today, Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, Dr. Anders Rudolph Samuel, to address you. Minister Samuel, you have the floor.
Thank you, Ms. Roach. Good morning, and good morning to the members of the press and DCOM. Good morning to Prime Minister, and good morning to the people of St. Martin. May you have a God-blessed day. I do have some thank yous and congratulatory messages to give out this morning, and I'm happy to be able to do so. So on Thursday last week, we did have the pre-St. Martin Day school parade with the primary schools and the secondary school of public education. And on Saturday, we had the celebrations of the St. Martin's Day. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank all the persons who in one way or the other have contributed to the pre-St. Martin Day school parade, and also those who have contributed to the St. Martin Day celebration. A lot of work went into it, so we definitely cannot forget the persons who have done the organizing, the Department of Sports, the group from Yome Dormoy and his organization, all of the troop leaders and the vendors and the public who came out and also had a wonderful time. I know these days we have been having, unpleasant weather, but we must be able to, be grateful that on that day the weather was wonderful and the people of St. Martin have been able to enjoy what we have prepared and, for them for the St. Martin Day parade. It is the intention that the next parade would be grander than this one. So prepare. And those of you who did not take part, make sure that next time you take part. I thank you. I thank everyone for participating and making it a wonderful day for St. Martin. On Monday, we also had the Caribbean Wellbeing Conference, which was organized by the Student Support Services Division of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports. And the purpose of the Wellbeing Conference was to look after the well-being of teachers, to have a dialogue, a conversation, and a message to them that they too matter, so that we will let them know, and they have heard it, that we also take the well-being of teachers seriously into consideration. We have also had on Sunday, we had the Brown Pelican Sports Awards, which was also organized by the Department of Sports of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports. And I want to thank all the persons who have also contributed in making this a success, also the Department of Sports and the team and the participants and everyone who contributed to this event. So the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports has been very busy over the weekend. I would like to take this opportunity to wish the people of St. Eustatius a happy Statia Day. And I would like to let them know that I will be traveling to Statia to celebrate Statia Day with them. I won't be away long, so I'll be there for one day and I will be back. So happy Statia Day on behalf of the government and myself to the people of Statia. And I would leave it here for now, and I will wait for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Samuel, for your opening remarks. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of General Affairs, Silveira Jacobs, to address you. Prime Minister Jacobs, you have the floor.
Thank you, Relika. A pleasant good morning to my colleague minister, the members of the press, and the listening and viewing public of St. Martin, as well as those that are abroad following this broadcast. As always, I want to thank the Department of Communications for facilitating this broadcast. As always, your work is appreciated. This past week, as Minister Samuel just mentioned, we celebrated St. Martin Day, a unity day, a day that we come together as one island, one people with one destiny. So I really would like to add my congratulations to the organizers on both sides for all of the activities that were held during this past week. Of course, we started since the 10th of October with our season of jollification. And I think who didn't know now for sure what jollification means. We come together with the little that we have, and we made it a really beautiful celebration, a celebration that was heartfelt by the nation. So definitely a good step forward in nation building. We saw students also depicting the various national symbols within the schools as our curriculum presents. And I would like to thank all the teachers and all of the school organizations that ensure that that curriculum is taught as we lead up to St. Martin Day. Every child, whether born here or born to be here, should know and learn about our culture, about our history, and claim it as their own as they move forward, as we all want to build this nation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm still quite exhausted from all of the activities, but I think it was well worth it. And a heartfelt congratulations to Ms. Clara Reyes of the Culture Department, the Arts and Craft Foundation, as well as Mr. Yume Dormois and all of our creatives, because it really gives them an opportunity to highlight our orange economy, the music, the artistry in the costumes, the artistry in the dance. Several had choreography as well. And of course, our steel band was prominent, more than one. Fashion, culture, the orange economy. People even used the traditional fabrics in up-to-date and more modern design. So it was very heartwarming. Of course, the highlight of our unity flag on St. Martin Day continues to grow, and we aim to one day be able to just celebrate St. Martin Day under that one flag, because Minister ECYS was representing from head to foot during the culture parade, and I myself, of course, during the morning hours, as well as our president of the collectivité and so many others. We aim as a nation, St. Martin, one nation of people that are bound by blood ties, family, etc., to really highlight the unity on this day. So it is not about putting aside your red, white, and blue. We have our Flag Day, the 13th of June, as well as our Constitution Day, the day that St. Martin was birthed as a constituent state, to really raise that red, white, and blue St. Martin flag. But I would really like us to be encouraged as we prepare for next St. Martin Day, to really work on the unity aspect and promote that even more. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I echo the sentiments that was wholly made by the population. The responses were excellent. And thanks, of course, to DECOM for ensuring that those who couldn't be present could still be entertained online and can go back and look at it many, many, many times. Also, congratulations to all the recipients of the Brown Pelican Awards this past weekend on Sunday, as well as was mentioned also, highlighting the legends in softball, my sport, one of my sports. And of course, it's just the beginning. Most of the sports that have been highlighted over the past years, you started from the beginning. Those were the oldest legends. And of course, when we start back with the next set, all of the others will be highlighted as well. Of course, there are so many on St. Martin who have contributed to the longevity of this sport, and it still warms the heart of many. Also, all of the top athletes in the various sporting areas, the sponsors, the coaches, and our professional athletes. Congratulations to you as well. In celebrating St. Martin Day, we also had visitors from Bonaire and Statia. Thank you for joining us. They really, really enjoyed it. And Minister, on behalf of St. Martin, please do convey our best wishes to Statia tomorrow. I'm not able to join, unfortunately, but I will be there in spirit. Happy Advanced Station Day to all stations here and abroad. Of course, we're always faced with unpredictable situations in our lives, and so I always take time out to give a word of encouragement, to lift the spirits of those who are going through loss, who are going through stress, who are going through turmoil, who are dealing with mental health issues. Please do not feel that you are alone in the darkness. It may be tough to see, but there is a network of support around you, your family, your friends, and even strangers, therapists, your doctor. See a doctor. It is not a weakness. All of us can get sick, and that is also just an illness. Do not ignore these signs until it is too late. Of course, there are opportunities within government as within the health sector to get the necessary assistance you need. And always rely on your faith as well. We are a very faithful community. In announcements from the Ministry of General Affairs, the Civil Registry Department reminds our eligible voters that in connection with the upcoming elections on January 11th, that citizens are invited to visit the Civil Registry office on Saturday. This Saturday, November 18th, at the Government Building, Phillipsburg, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. noon, in order to be able to renew your ID cards. Again, that is this Saturday, November 18th, at the Government Administration Building, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for the renewal of ID cards without an appointment. All eligible voters of Dutch nationality 18 years or older can renew your cards if the card is expired or will expire in the coming 3 months. You must be registered in the basic administration, bring along your expired ID or a valid passport, and your fees of 45 guilders. If it is lost, the fees are 70 guilders. So please be reminded this Saturday there is that opportunity. Yes, anyone who needs to renew their ID cards, but it is being done especially for those who need to ensure that they have proper ID to be able to vote. And I know any who still have questions on where, their registration as well can deal with it at that time. Also related to the upcoming 2024 elections, the public order briefing session was held on Monday in Conference Room 1 and 2 on the ground floor of our building, Government Administration Building. This was facilitated by the Central Voting Bureau, and Inspector Hout was on hand to also give some information regarding public order and safety as well. These sessions are pivotal for ensuring a seamless execution of the democratic process. I must say that the Central Voting Bureau also sends out the relevant emails and documentation that was done since last week so that parties can start doing the necessary in preparation for postulation day on November 22nd, 2023. These sessions are very important, where necessary questions can be asked in person and answered. The ministerial regulation that will actually put into force how the sessions or how the public order will be signed by the Minister of Justice today and published for the knowledge of and awareness of the participating parties as well as the public at large. So do look out for that publication during the course of today, the ministerial regulation that gives all of the ins and outs regarding the upcoming election. So parties, you were already informed. There should be no paraphernalia put up before the 22nd of November. So that's when you're officially allowed, but all of the other regulations will be clear once the publication is out. As usual, all are asked to adhere to these regulations because they are put in place, are blanket regulations where you don't need a special permits to put up the signage, but you have to respect the rules of engagement. Ensure that we have a free, fair, and safe election, as we always do, and with the usual good behavior of our citizens, regardless of party affiliation. I'm pleased to announce that on my initiative and in an effort to lead the change needed within the Ministry of General Affairs, that I have organized a very much needed training for our management team. So the MT of the Ministry of General Affairs has started since Monday in a dynamic 3-day PROCI Change Management Certification Program based on ADCAR. ADKAR, which is being facilitated by BDO. This training is needed to ensure that our organization, General Affairs, supports all other ministries, and therefore we must be ready and flexible to adapt to the many changes that are being put forward, whether it is through our country package of reforms, which we prioritize based on the Sustainable Development Goals, and to ensure that we have an efficiently and effectively working administration in support of all our clients, who are indeed you, the people of St. Martin. So training of our management team, which then has to go down to the section heads and to the employees, will ensure that all changes are properly managed with good communication, with good input from all those who have to be part of the change, with the knowledge and the skill set being upgraded as necessary, and of course the reinforcement, ensuring that all who are part of it are 100% and ensuring good communication throughout the process. And that also includes good communication to our stakeholders, the people of St. Martin, and that's why I am informing of that at this time. We do want the person seeking service within government, as well as the support to the other ministries, to be to the highest possible level, so that when you leave, you are a happy customer and also content with the service that you have received. This intensive program is a deep dive into the essentials of managing change management, and offers concentrated knowledge and practical skills for all levels. Thanks to the BDO team and facilitators, it has been an intensive 2 days thus far, and we will finalize our sessions on Friday upcoming. International Men's Day is coming up on November 19th. Now, we always spend a lot of time talking about Women's Day because, we're the ones that you have to actually have a SDG for, gender equality, to ensure that females can be, held to the same regard, have the same opportunities. But that does not mean in today's society that we do not celebrate our men. Men are key and pivotal to our society. They are the fathers, they are the role models for our boys and girls growing up, and they play a key role in ensuring the family, which is the groundwork of any society, is intact. So I would like to take the time in advance to wish a happy Men's Day to all men on November 19th, which is Sunday, and I encourage the community to, as much as we highlight our females, to highlight our males. We cannot exist in a one-sided society, so happy Men's Day. As a token of appreciation, the male civil servants of government will be given a half day off on Friday as long as the function permits, in honor of International Men's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for all the service that you provide, and continue with the good work that you are doing within the community. And if that is not the case, this is the opportunity for you to see how important your role is and step up. Our men and boys, our boys are looking to you especially, and you must be the example for them as we go forward. With that being said, Rolika, I'm sure that the media has some questions, so I'll stop here. And if there's anything else that comes up, then I will be sure to ask for some extra time later. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister Jacobs, for your opening remarks. If you've just joined us, you are watching the live Council of Ministers press briefing for today, Wednesday, November 15th, 2023. Phoebe, as you are the only member of the media here, I will allow you to have your 3 questions. You can go ahead with question number 1.
Thank you, Rolika. Good morning. Good morning, ministers. My first question to the Minister of ECYS, Minister Samuel. The upgrading of sports facilities, additional funds was allocated for the ERP program financed by the Trust Fund. When can we see tangible activities taking place with the upgrading of these facilities?
The upgrading of the indoor sports facilities of the schools, those are on the agenda to start next. And the other facilities that are under the NRPB World Trust Fund, that schedule I do not have. So I cannot tell you per date, because that is what you would want to have. exactly the date when those would be starting. It is within short, but no, CapEx and NRPB is different. The upgrades that are under the CapEx, that is going well, and I think within a week or two, I can give you some tangible dates as to how that is going.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Minister. Bibi, your second question.
My second question is for the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, if I'm correct on this, the interim head of personal affairs have been appointed. Can you tell me for how long, and if there were background checks or screening done for this person that I believe is working for SOAB? I did myself a Google search, and my research and the answers I got wasn't that nice. So I'd like to know what government did in the appointment of this person.
Thank you for that question. I thought we dealt with this already. We do have an interim head, yes, at Personal Affairs, a professional with many, many years, also experience within government, so she understands government within the Dutch Kingdom, the Dutch Caribbean, I should say, both in Curacao and Aruba. Yes, there was some negative news that was in the press, in the social media specifically, that had to be taken down because there was absolutely no actual arrest in this case, and therefore the media was supposed to take that down. The person in question is handling that together with her lawyers to have her good name cleared. There was a very strict recruitment done via SOAB, and this person comes very highly recommended and has already been impacting some of the change that I mentioned and assisting us to get some of the things that had been online and also required as a result of some of our B measures within the reform package that we are diligently working on to improve. As you know, we did a research within our civil service, and everything that came out of it was things that you could say, of course, we know this, but when you have the tangible results and the recommendations, you actually need someone to spearhead that. And so that is what Ms. Stix is being charged to do, together with the staff and together with the management team, and thus far has been doing a pretty good job of it. The engagement was initially only for 3 months, but we are seeking ways to have it continue for a longer time because we see the need for it to be able to revamp, as we're also busy with the restructuring of the Ministry of General Affairs as well, which is why we needed that this training that we're busy with. So we're having this training and a follow-up one because, of course, not everyone is able to do it at the same time, as well as middle management needing to do it as well. But I do, while I appreciate the question, it is unfortunate. I similarly had to go and have my name cleared, and hopefully when I get the results of the court, that will be the end of that. There were no actual charges pressed. And, sometimes politics can play a role in what happens to people, and there is actually no record as such. And we trust the skill set, we trust the work ethic of said person who came very, very highly recommended. And we do need that level of professionalism to move the personnel affairs. We're in discussion with the unions, and I believe that that is also at a far stage to bring some needed change to the legislation, where the remuneration and other working conditions of our civil service is concerned. We have a social worker in place that civil servants can visit, and we are devising plans to improve the working conditions for our civil servants. So again, I ask their patience as we work out those recommendations and their cooperation as well, because it will take all of us working together to bring about the needed change.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Bibi, your third question.
Yes. Prime Minister, recently there have been some reports. We also received a press release on this from a candidate, I believe it is, but we receive a press release. But prior to this release, we did got reports of this. And so I'm asking you this is because it's a little bit of a foreign affair matter, but also justice. And since the Minister of Justice is not here, I find it necessary to ask you. There are reports that at least 3 Haitian nationals have been deported. And the minute they landed there, they lost their lives. We all know that Haiti has a civil war going on. There are people being killed left, right, and center. So, if in fact these persons were deported, are you aware of how many international conventions have been violated, and what does the government intend to do? Yes, if people are not registered, they're not legally residing on the island, then the question is, yes, they have to be deported. But in the case where there's a civil war taking place, how does government intend to proceed forward?
It's very, very unfortunate. I have not heard this story specific to what you are referring to. I know in a previous press briefing, the minister did address, it was asked again, or something related to deportation was asked. I do know that the minister put in quite a period of time where she gave persons the opportunity to regulate themselves. It's unfortunate if persons did not make use of that opportunity. I cannot say, honestly, what took place in this case. And as you mentioned, foreign affairs and conventions being overgetreden. Conventions being, what's the word you used? International conventions being violated, correct. I couldn't come on that word. I would have to look with my Foreign Affairs Ministry and the Justice Foreign Affairs Department and the Justice Ministry as to what exactly took place and how. I cannot give an answer to that. But if indeed that is true, then of course to those families and friends, my deepest and sincere condolences.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Do we have one more?
No, baby, that will be the end of the broadcast, as you are the only member of the media. We are at our time for our broadcast this morning. So any further questions can be sent to the Minister's Cabinet in writing. Honorable Ministers of the Council, member of the media, radio listeners, and online viewers, this brings us to the end of the live Council of Ministers press briefing for today, Wednesday, November 15, 2023. For rebroadcast, tune into stmartingov.org, St. Martin Gov Radio via 107.9 FM, Tel TV Plus Channel 15, the official Facebook page of the Government of St. Martin, and YouTube channel Government of St. Martin. For video on demand, log on to the Government of St. Martin's YouTube channel. On behalf of the Department of Communication and the Government of St. Martin, I'm Rolika Roach and wishing you a pleasant day further.